Hi everybody, it's Sandy Reese with StampACrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome back. We have another great video using the Waterside Retreat Suite from the mini catalog. And as I mentioned before, this reminds me of a lot of different parts of growing up. So I'm going to share another one with you with a great fun fold. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so with our project today, we are using just the stamp set. We're not going to die cut anything. We're just going to stamp, just using a couple sentiments, and then we're going to take advantage of that beautiful designer paper. So let's bring in our supplies. I'm using for my base is the pecan pie. This goes really well with this paper. And when I showed you on the last video, about that sheet of all the different scenes, I'm using this little cabin on the lake scene, and we've kind of cut it down so it'll fit on our card front, and I'm using Peaceful Pine again, like that. And then I'm using the plaid, and on the back is just, I think this might have been the back of the bird paper. No, that, I don't know. But one of the papers. And then I'm using a couple pieces out of the Country Woods designer paper, which has a lot of different wood grain, and this one goes really well with that pecan pie. So let's do a little assembly. I'll post measurements and supplies on my blog. Oh, and remember I said I thought that those natural matte dots had brown, and they did. I cut them out to put in this project. Sometimes I forget what I do. Okay, so we're going to make a fun fold. Well, I am scoring on all of our pieces. The memory that kind of comes back to me, I told you my grandparents had a marina on Flathead Lake in Montana. And when we were young, they had an A-frame house that was there. And most of the house was downstairs. The whole front of it was glass. It was, you know, shaped like this, had a big dock in front, all glass. And then you had to climb this orange ladder to get up to the loft, and that's where we would stay. And then they eventually moved it kind of to a different part of their property, and they built a, you know, a regular two-story house. But I just always loved that house. It was just so cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use liquid glue instead of tear and tape. On this panel right here, I'll post measurements so you'll see them. I'm going to fold down that small panel and lay this down flat here and glue it down flat. Now whenever you're doing fun folds, if you can, glue everything so your paper's flat. You want to be able to put this into a card front, not a card front, put it in an envelope. Hello, this is a card front. You want to be able to put in an envelope. So when you lay it flat, that makes sure that everything is kind of flush. It's going to be all square and then lying flat when you're mailing it. Okay, I'm trying to get my point across. I'll get there eventually. All right, so let's glue this plaid paper to a piece of the Peaceful Pine. We're going to use this as our backdrop. We're going to glue this down here. If you guys have memories of a lake house or anything like that, post it in the comments. I would love to know about that. Okay, I am going to glue this paper right here in front. Give us a little different look. There is kind of a gray granite type of wood grain in this suite. However, I used it all up. I used up all my wood grain paper in my project, so I did not have enough extra to use on this project. Okay, probably just want, so I'm gluing the bottom of this panel. So I've got a couple score lines. I'm gluing that in the center of that bottom panel. And then I'm going to lay this flat and glue this smaller panel I'll put that down and glue this just like this so everything's still flat. And if you've done all your measurements right, that doesn't feel straight. Okay, if you've done all your measurements right, that's a big if. When you fold it like this, it should all still be flat, and you should be able to fit it in your envelope. Okay, so let's glue our cabin. To our other piece of Peaceful Pine. And just glue this to that front panel right here, and that looks like it is cut way too wide. What happened there? I don't know. I don't know what happened there. That is cut too wide, which looks a little strange. So we're gonna fix that. How, you ask? We're gonna fix it? I'm going to, I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna fix it. I'll probably put some of this right here. Oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. You know, we can plan as much as we want up front. And sometimes just stuff happens that we did not plan. Because during class, I had nobody come and complain that this was cut too wide. You know, okay, here's my sample. Oh, I cut that wide too. My green looks the same. It's just that my brown is too wide here. You know, I'm just going to leave it because, you know, who's going to know? Who's going to know that that's too wide? Nobody. You guys will. So as long as you don't tell anybody, I won't tell anybody. All right, we're going to do relax because that's what I need to do right now. We're going to relax and we're going to have a great birthday. That's what we're going to do. Relax and have a great birthday. Just like that. That's all we need to do. Okay, we're going to glue this on the back. I'm going to send this one. I'm going to save this for my brother-in-law. They don't have a cabin, but they do have they have an RV that's parked on the Swanee River, or up in Swanee, in Florida, that they go fishing out of. So that's kind of their retirement plan. I'm gonna wrap that around twice with some linen thread, and then tie a bow. So he just had his birthday this spring, so I'll save this and send it to him next spring. I have a special box. I keep all my cards that I plan to send to people. Okay, relax, and we'll pop this up. And he will not know that this was not supposed to be this wide. Okay, we're gonna pop that up right there. And we're gonna grab some of these natural matte dots that I cut off the other, the packet of them. I'll have to put them back in the packet now that I've finished up. We're gonna get a large and a small. We'll put that large one there. And we'll put the small one. Can we fit it up there? I think so. Or, you know what, let's put it right here. We can see it a little better there. All right, and that is our fun fold. That's what it looks like from the side. That's the back. You could do a little stamping on the back if you want. And then it just stands up straight, hopefully, in theory. It should stand up straight when they get it. And that's our fun fold for today. Both the wider version and the narrower version. So I will post the narrower version on my measurements on my blog, but if you want the wider one, just cut it half an inch wider and you'll be good to go. All right, thanks everybody for stopping by. Make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on future mistakes. And when you place an order of $50 or more with me online, I'll send you a kit of that month's card class projects for free. All right, thanks everybody for stopping by. We'll see you soon.